So I either misread the ending of book 2 or I just missed it. I probably just missed it. Or it happened in between book 2 or 3. But the male lead and the main character are together, and I'm not sure which one it is. I think I just misread or missed it in book 2. The Prime Minister gives the main character another mission. This mission is the main character being a guide for a group of ouvres from a foreign country. He will be guiding them, but he's one of the few guides that will be involved on leading this group. Just like with the church mission, the male lead is not pleased in learning the main character is taking this mission. He is throwing a whole tantrum. And the Prime Minister uses this as an opportunity to bait the male lead into giving up his second command to guard the main character. And the second command is the male lead's maternal cousin. The main character is going to be part of a group. The main character is the head of the group. Then there is the director sorceress, the aide to the head sorcerer, and then the cousin of the male lead. All of them are going to be involved in this. And you're wondering, what about the second in command of the sorcery department? We all know his personality is that of a child, and if he doesn't care about what's going on, he's not going to actually behave well. Because remember, he is very much like a child, a young child. The child's genius is more mature and acts well better than he does. So even though the main character is technically the head guide of this mission, the overalls from the foreign country won't actually know this. They're going to have the second command of the male lead's maternal cousin, play the figurehead. He's going to be the one playing the head guide, and typically also the aide to the director of the sorcery department. They're going to play the head guides, even though the main character is actually the real one, because they have noble status. The main character does not. Because the ovals coming from the foreign country will be led by the third prince. The main character has to go to the banquet welcoming the ovals, and the male lead had prepared his clothes. Well, unknown to the main character until he got there, that the clothing he was wearing was basically announcing he was betrothed or married, and specifically assigning that his betrothed or marriage partner is a high-status rich person. It won't outright state who this person is, but if you pay attention to his clothing and figure out who this person is, you could easily figure it out. You wouldn't know right away, but as you find the person, you will know who this person is. And let's just say people who see the main character are utterly shocked and going, "Ooh, whoa, I guess you're already at the spot," and explain to the main character, who again does not know what's going on, what all his stuff on his clothes mean. And obviously the main character is horrified. Now, he's not upset about the whole getting engaged to the male lead, even though at the same time this is going way too fast for him because they only started really dating for a month. And he comes from a modern place where people can go years dating without getting married. They can go a long time without getting married. So yes, this is a little horrifying to him, but he's more horrified that he was sent there in proposal clothing or betrothal clothing or married clothing without knowing any of that facts. He's more pissed about that. The main character, after learning this information at the banquet and when he leaves the banquet, hunts his husband down to question his husband about this. And his husband's excuse is that, oh, if you knew the truth about the clothes, you wouldn't have worn it. And the main character's like, I should have been given that choice. I should have known that you were proposing to me or putting a proposal over my head. I deserve to know this. And the male lead's excuse is that he wants people to know the main character belongs to him. He also wants to push their relationship farther than what it is currently at the time period. So he will have the main character in his arms, his grasp, and will able to have a way to pressure the main character into staying and not leaving, without informing the main character of any of this information, trying to make the main character's decisions for him and make the way where the main character would never leave him. This causes them to fight, and instead of being a grown adult about this, the male lead just leaves the main character in the argument. And the main character is utterly horrified. Like, he literally throws the main character out of the room, locks the main character out of his room, so the main character has to go to his room, and the main character doesn't have the ability to sneak into the male lead's room like the male lead has for him. Like, very much the male lead can lock the main character out and keep the main character out, but the main character can't lock the male lead out of his room because the male lead has the keys to get into the main character's room whenever he wants. Yeah. Man is a very give you the finger right now kind of man. The main character has a meeting with the Crown Prince once he wakes up, and he hasn't got to see the male lead because the male lead stormed out of there before he got up. And so he has to go to the Crown Prince's meeting without having settled things with his husband. And now he has to deal with the Crown Prince's issues with the Holy Maiden, because again, the Crown Prince has feelings for the Holy Maiden, and he wants to propose to her, be engaged to her, betroth her, marry her, even though she wants to return back to her own world. This kind of situation is exactly like the main characters and male leads. And the main character explains to the Crown Prince in their world, or specifically in their country, women didn't even marry until they were in their 20s. Like, they finish high school, they finish college, they get work, and then they might marry and settle down. And this is a surprise to the Crown Prince, because he full on wants to be engaged with the Holy Maiden, and the main character even explains his whole situation with the male lead, and the Crown Prince is like, well, I'm trying to understand your guys' point of view, but you guys have to understand our point of views. Like, we want you guys to stay and be by our side. We want you guys to acknowledge how much we love you guys and care for you guys. We don't want you guys to leave, and we're just terrified that given the chance, you guys will just leave us heartbroken. It's a whole thing. Like, it gives time for the main character to see the male lead's point of view, and the main character gives the Crown Prince a chance to see the Holy Maiden's point of view. So things are not going well with the Avovs. So remember, there is the third prince from the foreign country, his sister, the third princess of the foreign country, but she's disguised just as a boy relative of his. So we don't learn until the end of the book. We knew that she was actually his sibling. You just don't find out until the end that it's his sister, but I'm going to call her by female terms because that is her gender. Even though she was disguised as a boy, that is her gender. Things are not going well with the Avovs. First, the third princess and two of the other members of the Avov do not want to read through the documents the main character prepared for all of this and how the days are going to go. No, they want to go to the sorcery department as soon as if, and they will not have anything else. Like, they throw a literal tantrum, a full-on tantrum. And remember, the third princess is actually just a child. She's the same age as the child genius, so it's understandable that she acts like a child. So they go to the sorcery department. The main character had to rush there as soon as possible, as fast as he could before they ever got there, so he could, barricade and hide the second in command so they would not be introduced to him, because again, he is more childish than an actual child. He also had to prepare the sorcerer department for arrival of a royalty, because it's basically all falling apart. And, one of his ovals has disrespected the main character over and over again. Like, he does not like the main character because the main character is a commoner and just a lower ranking court official. He doesn't think the main character has the rights to be at a declarations with the third prince. But the sorcery department absolutely loves the main character and lists all the reasons why they absolutely love the main character, even though it makes people start to stink eye the main character. This is also when the ovals are introduced to the child genius and his skills and abilities, and they also learn about the school.